Hey everybody, we're back with another edition of Nat's Newbs, where I try to find out all the different things that happen here at the IAC during the AMA Nationals. And I'm here with Pete Bauer, and we are at Site 6, where there are control line circles. And during the past few days, they've done control line scale competition. So I'm so dumb about this, I don't even know what question to ask you. So can you give us the elevator pitch on what control line scale is?
So control line scale, you build a copy of a real airplane. And basically the judging is, part of the judging is on how much your plane really looks like the real plane. We call that static judging. And then the second part is how well you fly the plane like the real planes. So there's a bunch of different categories, but basically that's it. It's how well it looks like the real plane and how well you fly it like the real plane.
So in the static judging, the judges are comparing that model against documentation that has been provided to them?
Yes, each of the contestants has a booklet with pictures of the model, with pictures of the full-size airplane, with three views, which is like a side view, a top view, and a front view. And the judges stand back about 15 feet, and they look at that, and they look at the documentation, and they look at the model, and they say, boy, that really looks like it, and they score it from a bunch of different things, including how well the painting is, how well your markings match the real plane, so it's how much it looks like the real plane.
Okay. Now, yesterday, the wind was giving people a little bit of trouble out here, and you actually stopped flying for a little while. I think it's much better today. But what kind of difficulties does the wind present for control line flyers?
So, yes, yesterday we had to stop because it did get too windy. So when you think about it in control line, you're going around in a circle. So each lap around, you're going into the wind, crosswind, downwind, and then crosswind again. So the planes, downwind side, you tend to go down, push down a little bit. Into the wind, they tend to rise up. So it got very, very challenging yesterday, and we stopped. Today has been much better. We completed all the rounds today, and we started the team trials.
Okay, the FAI team trials. What category is that?
It's called F4B scale, and that's the international rules for scale competition.
Okay, and a lot of what you're telling me now sounds similar to the conversation I had over on the RC scale line. Is there anything that's particularly unique about control line scale versus RC scale?
So the static judging is actually very much the same. Actually, sometimes we share judges or we swap judges because it's the exact same static judging. You stand back and you look at the plane. Of course, the flying's a little different. I think our flying is a little more challenging because, like I described, the upwind and downwind on every lap around. But it's the same in that you're trying to make the plane look like the real aircraft. I always say a good judge, he leans back and squints a little bit, and if you can't tell the difference, is that a model or a real plane, you're doing a really good job.
Okay. Now, as we stand out here now, the competition is finished and everybody has headed home. But when I was here earlier, there was a good mix of models, and it looked like some might have been ARFs and foamies. So are there categories that cover all those different types of planes?
There are categories in the AMA scale rules that allow for ARFs or foamies to be entered. So there's they call it builder of the model. You don't have to be the builder of the model. Actually, we had some people fly those almost ready to fly planes. We had some people fly other people's planes that maybe they couldn't fly anymore, so the person couldn't pilot anymore, so they borrowed their plane and said, we'll bring it to the Nationals for you then. So there are categories for that, which is a great category for beginners to start out in, because you don't have to spend hundreds of hours building a scale model. You can easily convert one of those RC ARFs into control line. And actually there was an article in Model Aviation in the last year talking about converting radio control ARFs into control line scale models.
Do you hear that, Lee? There's an article about exactly what you want to do. Lee is shaking his head or nodding his head. So, all right. Well, Peter, thank you for explaining all of this to us. For those who have never watched control line, any type of competition before, this was my first time seeing a control line competition, and it was very interesting for me from lots of aspects. So make sure you check out the footage in this video and other videos we posted to see what this is all about.